So, if you're in tech or really anywhere near data, there's one language you absolutely have to know. And it's probably not the one you're thinking of. It's SQL. In this explainer, we're going to dive into what SQL is and maybe more importantly, why it is the key to so many jobs out there.
Believe it or not, this is what storing data used to look like. Yeah, huge rooms, endless filing cabinets. And sure, it worked, kind of, but imagine trying to find one specific piece of information in all that. It could be a total nightmare.
And then, boom, computers happened. As they became a part of our daily lives, all of those paper files started moving online, creating this massive, brand new universe of digital information. But that just created a whole new kind of mess. I mean, if finding one piece of paper in a giant room was hard, how on earth do you find one tiny piece of data among billions online? Just having a digital mess instead of a physical one wasn't the answer. We needed a proper system.
To really get how this system works, let's use an analogy. Forget about computers for a minute. I just want you to picture a massive, perfectly organized clothing store. Now, this store isn't just some random example. It's actually the key to understanding how pretty much all modern data is managed. We're talking everything from the apps on your phone to the biggest companies in the world. First things first, the store itself. This huge organized space that holds all the inventory, that's our database. Just think of it as the main container that holds everything. Okay, so inside the store, you've got different aisles, right? One for t-shirts, another for pants. In the world of data, these aisles are what we call tables. Each one is dedicated to one specific category of information.
And what about the actual clothes? The individual t-shirts, pants, and socks sitting on the racks. That's your data. Each item is a unique piece of information. Simple when you think of it that way, right?
All right, so we've got our perfectly organized store. The database is the building, the tables are the aisles, and the data is all the clothes. But something really important is still missing.
I mean, think about it. You wouldn't just wander around a massive store for hours looking for one specific thing, would you? No way. You'd ask for help. So how do you find exactly what you're looking for?
Exactly. You would talk to a sales assistant. And in the world of data, that super helpful, super smart assistant has a name, SQL. It stands for Structured Query Language. This is the expert who knows exactly where everything is and can get it for you instantly.
But here's the catch. You can't just walk up and talk to this assistant in English or Hindi or French. Nope. It only understands one very specific language. And that language is SQL. At its core, that's what SQL is. It's the language of data. It is the official set of commands we use to give instructions to our sales assistant and manage everything inside our digital store. So, what can you ask this assistant to do? Well, it boils down to three main things. It can store data, which is like stocking new t-shirts on the shelves. It can retrieve data, that's like finding you that one specific shirt. And it can manipulate data, like rearranging a display or updating a price tag.
Now, it's really important to know that SQL is a little picky. It doesn't just work with any old pile of data. It's designed for that special, highly organized kind of store we call a relational database. To understand what relational means, just think back to an old school attendance register. It's a perfect table, right? You've got columns for roll number and name, and then you have rows for each student. Well, relational databases simply store all their information in neat, clean tables just like that. Just like human languages have different dialects, SQL has a few different versions too. You might hear names like T-SQL or PL-SQL, but honestly, don't worry about that for now. The core language is the same everywhere. It's kind of like learning English. Once you know it, you can understand it whether you're in London or New York.
Okay, so that's the what. Now for the part you've been waiting for. Why does this matter for you? How is learning this language actually going to help your career? The short answer is almost everyone in tech uses it. Seriously. Software engineers use it to store user info. Data analysts use it to find hidden insights. Database administrators, QA testers, big data engineers. SQL is a fundamental skill across a massive range of jobs.
But for a lot of students, especially in the Indian tech scene, there is one reason to learn SQL that stands way above all the others, and that's campus placements. It's really as simple as this. SQL is a core topic that comes up constantly in technical interviews. Knowing it well isn't just a bonus. It can be the key that unlocks those crucial job offers.
And it goes way beyond interviews. If you want to build a real-world project for your resume, say a website that remembers user logins or saves posts, you're going to need a database. And to talk to that database, you need SQL.
Ultimately, learning SQL is like learning a new superpower. It lets you talk directly to data. It gives you the power to ask questions and get answers from billions and billions of pieces of information. So, the only question left is, what will you ask?